Malcolm Kuntz had Patrick Graham and Robbie Leonard. Who did Aidan O'Connell have? Luke Getsy, Josh McDaniels, no run game, crappy offensive line. This is from last show where we're like, look, like Aidan O'Connell, don't think he's like the guy, great backup. Yes, he was dealt a really harsh hand. Yeah. One top, or I guess bottom 5 quarterback situations in the NFL last year. Absolutely atrocious. Was Malcolm Kuntz sad. Hey, Patrick Graham, Robbie Leonard playing along opposite end of Maxx Crosby. He had a lot more going for him, and that's why he played well. He must have convinced you with that one. Soto, he said, listen, fellas.
I'm listening. I'm waiting for a point that makes sense. Because there's an out and out lie here. A crappy offensive line, run blocking maybe, pass blocking, it was actually pretty good offensive line. So I don't know that you want to give Aidan O'Connell credit for running the ball, which is where the offensive line struggled. So he got decent protection, offensive line. If you're not a top pick in the NFL, if you're not a top pick making a ton of money in the NFL, and you get an opportunity, you better leave no doubt that you're the guy for the job. And I don't care who's the coach. I don't care who's you're throwing the ball to, or who's in the stadium, or what you ate for breakfast. It doesn't matter. What matters is what happens in between the lines. And they're not going to give you the benefit of the doubt over and over and over again, because guess what? The decision makers' jobs are on the line too. So you need to make it clear that you're the man for the job, regardless. And we talked about this before, and I got a little irritated about it. And I'm not trying to talk shit or anything or jab at anyone or anything like that. But this smells so much of like a Derek Carr situation where it's just excuse after excuse after excuse. And after a while, it's like, when are we going to embrace results and not embrace excuses?
Yeah.
Because ultimately, Aidan O'Connell has not been consistent enough to show that he's a legit starting quarterback in the NFL. Because when Geno Smith was given the opportunity, regardless of what was around him, he did not let that go. Aidan O'Connell did not do that. He had a great game against the Chiefs, and then he goes the next week against Tampa, a very winnable game, and takes an absolute monkey shit all over the place.
Don't need to make it racial.
No, I'm not racial. It's animalistic. But the thing is, it's like, dude, you can't have those games if you're Aidan O'Connell. You can't have those games. It just can't happen. You have to leave no doubt that you're the guy. And if you want to hang on to all these excuses, great. John, you're well within your right, but you're going to be banging your head against the wall over and over and over again, like we did for 9 seasons, trying to get something out of someone that is not capable of giving it to us. So keep doing that.
Well, it's two things. It's two things. Just because he didn't have a great situation, or let's call a spade. He had a terrible situation. No one's arguing that. No one's arguing that Aidan O'Connell was handed a pile of shit, and they're like, all right, make filet mignon out of this. And he didn't do it, right? No one's arguing that. But he was but it's not all one big thing, right? There were certain drives where guys were open, protection was great, any missed throws, couldn't make the play. There's many specific plays. There's plays where he looked phenomenal. There definitely are. And there's enough plays where things went good. What you needed to do is there, and didn't do it. Right? 2, this all doesn't matter. He's still on the Raiders. If he's better than Geno Smith, he'll start over Geno Smith.
He's going to start. I don't think we understand that. I don't think we can wrap our heads around that.
Literally happened in 2012 with the Seahawks. Brought in Matt Flynn, drafted Russell Wilson in round 4. What 4th round quarterbacks start as a rookie? It never happens, right? If there was any other coach in Seattle, Russell Wilson's probably not the Super Bowl winning 10-time Pro Bowler, $250 million quarterback. Because what coach in the NFL will start a 4th rounder who's 5'4" over a free agent quarterback you just brought in to start? Probably only Pete Carroll. So if there's any coach in all of the world, in all of the footballs, that's going to be like, yeah, this third year, fourth rounder is better than our, $120 million quarterback. We're starting him. So this is all kind of for naught, because if he's better than Geno, he'll start over Geno. And then we can all and Soto and I will put giant feet in our foots in our mouths, and we're going to say all right, he's the better guy.
I don't think we have to, because we're saying it right now. He has a shot to do it. We're saying it right now. He has a shot to do it. And look, it's not like he hasn't been given the opportunity to start before. He had the opportunity to start last season, and he just didn't do enough. He didn't do enough to convince everyone in this organization that he was a better starting quarterback than Gardner Minshew. That's just the bottom line. I'm not saying that he wasn't a little bit better or he was casually better or whatever. I'm not saying that. He didn't do enough to say, you know what? Screw the money you give this guy. I'm the better guy. It's not all about the preseason games either. Every day in practice, 1v1s, he didn't do enough to show that he was the guy.
And this is another example of how bad the regime was, because Aidan O'Connell was clearly the best quarterback on the Raiders last season.
It was better.
That's Getsy. That's how can we find more ways that Luke Getsy sucked as an offensive coordinator? And there was another one, because he was the best quarterback.
As bad as Getsy was, if Aidan O'Connell showed that he was that much better, he would have played.
Maybe not. I am willing to think that Luke Getsy is that terrible of an OC where he's just no, I want Gardner no matter what. He is that bad that he could Aiden could have been better than Gardner in practice.
I don't think AP was that bad.
Clearly he was, because Aidan O'Connell was very clearly the best quarterback on the roster last season. And I think that's also the other part too, is I think, and this is a nice part of Raider Nation, and this, I think an irrational thought process is coming out of a good, rational feeling. Aidan O'Connell was a feel-good story. He's been a feel-good story, right? You root for him. You root for Rudy, right? But Rudy's high was playing one game at Notre Dame, right? You rooted for him, and it was a great story, but I don't want that guy being my starting defensive end if I'm Notre Dame for 11 games in a season. He's the cool story, but you want the best guy. So I do understand Raider Nation really, or a portion of Raider Nation. I don't think it's as many people as you think so. I think it's just an allowed minority. I think Aidan O'Connell's he's the guy, let him do it. I think it comes from a good place, but he hasn't shown it, one, and two, if he really is better, if he's better than Geno,
he'll be given
they're pro college and high school. There may not be a room that will more likely start Aiden over Geno than this one, if he is better. If Aiden is better, this is the room, this is the organization, this is the head coach that would say, fuck it, we gave him $150 million, Aiden's still better. He gives the best chance to win. He started.
And here's the thing, for anyone who's has their heart set on Aidan O'Connell starting the season off as our starting quarterback, okay? You cannot disparage the word of Pete Carroll, because he's shown you, and everyone who talks about him tells you the exact same thing. Competition Monday. It's competition day. Who's going to start this week? Everyone tells you the exact same thing. It's not just people who have, just been schmoozing around him either. It's guys who have played for him. They all tell you the exact same thing. Pete is about competition, and if you're starting for Pete Carroll, you're the best guy for the job. That's why guys didn't, I'm sure it bummed them out, but they weren't oh man, I got demoted to second string, I need to work harder to get back. It's not screw coach, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because out of the entire team, he's going to just single you out to be the guy that's better than the starter, but he doesn't want to play you. No, he's that guy. So Aidan O'Connell's going to be given a clean, clear opportunity, every opportunity to start for this team. If he doesn't, put it to rest.
Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.